This month we're talking about...
aging!
Should we be scared of it?
No, we look amazing.
Kei ngā kiriro o te ipurangi no mai ki On The Rag. Welcome to another episode of On The Rag, where today we're talking all about ageing. Ooh. And how old are we?
Like literally? Do you want to know?
I am 27 years old.
Wow.
I'm 38 years old.
I'm...
No, Michelle, you can do it. You can do it,
Okay.
You
Michelle.
can do it, it's fine.
No, I'm 57.
Yay! We're multi-generational.
We actually are.
Very broad spectrum. It's good.
Great big melting pot.
Look at the wisdom. There's some anxiety about ageing because you start to feel like people aren't going to ask you to do things anymore. You know, like stand on stage under a spotlight. Like work might dry up because you're not the look they want.
There is a vanishing point, right, in kind of the media and popular culture where women stop being women, and if you're an older woman, you're kind of like Betty White or something.
Yeah.
It goes from like Meryl Streep to Betty White, and there's nothing in between.
And because ageing is different for men and women. For men, it's about getting older, therefore having more status, possibly more money, maybe some wisdom, all of the things that men are supposed to have. But for women, it's about no longer being fertile or fuckable or able to produce babies, which at some base level is what women are for.
Yeah.
And what do you do after that?
Oh, knit.
True, actually. Shout out to all the women.
Nothing wrong with knitting, I tell you. Nothing wrong with it.
So I wanted to know if other women feel the same way as us, their thoughts on this subject. So I went out onto the mean streets of Auckland and I shoved a microphone into the face of passers-by. We're just stalking people like a creep. Excuse me, would you say you spend a lot of money on cosmetics and makeup and that sort of thing?
No.
No?
Surprisingly, not a lot.
Really?
I think as I've gotten older, I've become a bit more comfortable with myself.
Are you scared of signs of aging showing in your face and on your body?
Yeah.
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 Do you feel that pressure to stay looking young?
I feel the pressure, but it makes me want to rebel against that and embrace the aging.
There is this sort of perception, I guess, that men get better with age, but women sort of hit some kind of use-by date. Have you got any thoughts about why that is?
Because men hold all the power in the world, and so they still kind of control the narrative to a great extent. But yeah, that's subjective, because I don't think they get better with age either.
Media plays a big part of that in itself. It's like women should not age.
What do you guys think the absolute best thing about getting older is?
It's about creating memories. It's about living your life. It's about the experiences.
Retirement. You feel a lot less pressure to comply with certain standards, and you can just live your life.
The fact I'm still alive.
Yes.
The fact I'm still alive.
Yeah?
It's actually my birthday today.
Oh my God! Happy birthday!
Thanks. And I just think, like, people go, oh, I'm getting older, like I'm 59, I'm proud, I don't care. I think I'm lucky to be alive, because I've got peers who died at 21, at 18. They never got to live the life I've had to been able to live. So I think every year is a privilege.
That's gorgeous.
I liked talking to her, and I think that's important for everyone to do, is to just remind yourself to be grateful for what you have when you have it, your health and your friends and whatever. Because I think that's probably one of the keys to ageing gracefully, right? Is just
enjoy it.
enjoying it, enjoying the
appreciate
now.
And you get bogged down in all the messaging about eye creams and whatnot, and you forget about what's really happening, which is that you're alive.
Yeah. I mean, rad.
Yeah.
Really great.
Breathing and stuff.
Amazing. We're doing this.
I thought it was interesting the number of women who told me they don't spend that much money on cosmetics and makeup and stuff, because I thought I didn't either. And then I came to the shoot today, tried to bring everything I had put on my face, and that's a whole big bag of stuff for this not very fancy natural makeup look. Like, that's probably a couple $100.
Yeah,
And
easy.
I think maybe a lot of us are not that honest with ourselves about how much money it takes.
And maybe we buy a little bit here and a little bit there, but if you took everything out of your makeup bag and worked out how much money was worth was in there, it's a lot. Because, you know, we have to do the concealer and the foundation and the 3 kinds of eyeshadow and the eyeliner and the mascara and the...
Don't forget the sunscreen.
And everything that goes underneath that.
Yeah.
Sunscreen, cleanser, toner, and then we get onto the anti-aging products.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, nothing can reverse time, as far as I'm aware.
Or gravity, unless you spend a lot of time upside down. It's interesting, isn't it? I mean, you know, people talk about they wouldn't go this far. Like, there's a continuum from sunscreen to full face transplant, really, and we all find somewhere to fit on that line. But there is an industry built to, you know, reverse things or fix things, or I don't know what I took this face to a doctor. Something really wonderful happens to women as we get older. We start to feel really good about ourselves, our place in the world, the contribution that we make to our community. We even start to feel really good about how we look. Which is ironic, because around about the time we start feeling quite good about how we look, we actually start looking quite shit. Mostly, we're too tired to care, but there are whole industries built to fix it, from creams and dyes to needles and knives. We are very lucky. So, Meredith, on the inside, I feel like I'm 18. Why don't I look like I'm 18?
Time ravages us all. We put on weight, we lose weight, skin gets stretched. It's a bit like a balloon. Sometimes it'll stretch, little elastic fibres stretch, and then they just can't relax anymore. As we get older, they lose their resilience, and it's a bit like if you inflate a balloon and then you let it down, the skin just becomes a little softer, which means that with gravity, everything kind of drops.
I keep having an image of a popped balloon now, you know, it's frankly popped.
Well, you look at a young face and it's plump and dewy and youthful and glowing, and they get young, that you get older and it gets in and shrinks and thin and thin. And whilst cheekbones and jaws are beautiful, plump cheeks are beautiful, and plump foreheads and plump chins.
Why? Is it because we're hardwired to see youth as hopeful, full of future fertility? Is that it?
Probably. It's probably fertility. You know, we see lovely skin and juicy bodies and round and fertile and eggs, and you know, that's what we want, that's what men look for.
Why don't they look for experience and wisdom? And
well, I guess it depends what they're looking for.
Okay.
If they're looking for babies in the future, then they want to look for a vessel that's going to carry their babies. So they want something that can do that job.
do you think women are under more pressure from society to change their appearance than men are?
Yes, probably because of the expectations. I think that there is a lot of pushing out there. There's a lot of media that is bombarding people all the time, every day. So it used to be in the magazines, and you'd flick through a magazine once a week and you'd get your image of gorgeous people, and then you'd go and you'd see normal people all the time. Now everyone's on their phones all the time, and they're being bombarded by these slightly plasticised, slightly overlifted, slightly overfilled, slightly over-Botoxed people. And it's from such a young age. You're never good enough from when you're young all the way through. And it's not just young girls. It is older women as well.
How young is too young to have Botox?
Wrinkles are beautiful. Wrinkles are character. Wrinkles are your identity coming through. And wrinkles can be two forms. Wrinkles can be dynamic. So when we smile, we get smiles around our eyes, and we get creases around our lips, and we get dimples. And then static lines are when you've been doing an action for so long that you have permanent lines even when you're not doing that action. I think the perfect time for Botox is when your dynamic wrinkles start becoming static.
What do you think I should have done? What do you think? What do you think I should? What would be the thing?
Beautiful.
If I could, stop it now. If you could do one thing, what would you do? Would you do? Would it be that? Would it be that? Be that?
Wow, let me get my hands on you.
Come on. Don't be shy.
But do you only have one thing?
Oh no, you can do,
Oh,
you can do the whole thing.
do the whole lot.
this.
Okay.
As much as it needs to be done.
No. The big thing at the moment is filling, but filling from your own tissue. So taking fat from where you don't need it or where you don't want it.
Got some.
A little bit, okay, we don't need much. And recreating that volume that you had when you were young. So recreating your cheeks and recreating your temples. And actually, ironically, filling this area often actually gives you a lovely smooth jawline. So if you were going to just have one thing, I would suggest fat grafting filling.
Fat grafting filling?
Yep. And if you're nervous, you can have just fillers to try it out to see how it goes.
Yeah.
A short, easy procedure would be take a little bit of skin from your upper eyelids. That will open them, refresh them.
Where do I sign? Where is the form that I sign for that?
Yeah.
It sounds very good.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, no, tell me, because I walked out feeling quite good. I thought I was going to need a lot of tequila after seeing a plastic surgeon, but I felt quite good about me and not keen to have anything done at all.
You don't want your fat pushed into your face holes?
Despite the fact that I have sufficient, if not more than.
That's plenty, Michelle.
Yeah. No, I just walked away going, oh, well, I could do those things, but I'm probably not going to.
Yeah.
When anybody says you could have a little lift or a little Botox or a little something that just makes you look rested and relaxed, and you just want to go, why don't I just have a rest?
Yeah.
Why don't I just relax?
And also it's like, we're in this fucked up world, right? And there's these systems in place, there's these structures that reward women for looking a certain way. And also we don't want to judge any woman for doing whatever they can to survive in that world for a little bit longer as a younger, plumper, juicier woman.
Vessel.
I got really hungry during that as well.
I got horny. And it was so weird. It was quite weird sitting across the desk going,
Juicy.
Just touch my hair. Oh, we can't put that in.
You should definitely put that in.
But we've got to push back, don't we, at some point?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's just all about questioning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I am happy for everyone under the sun to have the freedom to make their own decisions, but they need to constantly be interrogating why they're making those decisions. Would you do this if you lived on a desert island on your own?
Yeah.
You know, like that's an important question to ask yourself about these things, because I would not put on a look of makeup if I lived in a desert island on my own.
Yeah.
Or if I lived on a desert island with just women.
Yeah.
You know? But I'm like a heterosexual cis woman in a patriarchal society who needs to look a certain way to not feel disgusting about myself for some reason.
Yeah.
That's just the way I was brought up.
Yeah.
That's shit.
Yeah, that is shit.
Yeah.
So it's not about minimising one thing, it's just about maximising the other, which is your intelligence and your experience and all those things that those women I talked to said that they enjoyed about getting older, which is finding your peace and your, you know. So I decided to go and talk to possibly the most wise person I know, who knows who the hell she is. That's my auntie Naida. You might have heard of Dame Rangimārie and Naida Glavish. She's a teacher, a te reo Māori and Māori health advocate. She was the president of the Māori Party and is often called on to accompany prime ministers and dignitaries on the marae. She's probably best known as the post office toll operator who in 1984 simply answered the phone, kia ora, and nearly lost her job for it. Kia ora, Auntie Naida.
Kia ora.
I would like to know, where and when were you born?
I was born a long time ago in the back seat of my father's Studebaker car on the shores of the Kaipara Harbour, and the car was heading to Mahurangi Hospital at the time, when I couldn't wait, of course. I spent the young days of my life on the shores of the Kaipara Harbour between two grandmothers.
Right.
One side of the road was my Māori grandmother, and on the other side was my Croatian grandmother. One of the things my grandmother taught me at a very young age, which has got me into trouble all my life right up to today, and that is in the reo, ina kite koe te tahi mea he, haka tikangia. Ina kore, ka rite koe ki taua he. If you see something wrong in front of you, then correct it. Because if you don't, you will become like it. Which led me to every day waking up, please don't anybody do anything wrong in front of me, because I'm going to have to do something about it. And I did. And some of the things I had to correct, oh my goodness. To me, my heart's Māori, my heart's Croatian.
Right.
Yeah, and so's this face.
What do you think about women getting sort of nips and tucks and plastic surgery and stuff on their faces?
Beauty to me is in behaviour. It's not, and plastic surgery, that's eye candy stuff, and it's not my cup of tea, I was going to say, which is such an English thing for me to say.
So, keep all the wrinkles.
Oh, look, it took me a long time to get them. Of course I'm going to keep my wrinkles. I look in the mirror and think, ooh, there's another one. Ho, ho. I'm showing my age. I'm happy to. There's no way that we can stop our age. We can't stop growing old. It don't matter how many plastic surgeries you have, you're still going to be that same age.
That's true.
And even if you look 50 when you're 80, you're still 80.
Yeah.
And the rest of your body knows that.
Your knees.
Especially your knees.
You have lived your life from the wisdom that you've been passed down from your grandmother. Mm-hmm. Do you think that wisdom comes from age and you have your own wisdom now that you're passing on?
I think every experience you have should give one a portion of wisdom. Your worst experience should be your best teacher. So wisdom for me coming through my life has been to be totally conscious of every situation you're in, and you'll receive wisdom from it.
I feel wiser just from hearing that answer.
You are. Are you conscious?
I think so. Now that's a kia ora Queenie.
Yeah.
That's kia ora
Queenie. That really is.
Yeah, that's a life well lived.
Isn't
Amazing.
it?
That's something to aspire to.
I want to be that when I grow up.
I want to see that on television.
Exactly.
Every day.
Exactly. When anyone in the world thinks, what's it like to be an older woman, that's what I want them to think about, you know? Yeah.
But sometimes there is also, on the flip side, younger women aren't taken seriously at all.
Yeah.
And as someone who people think I'm still at high school, I've been working at the Spinoff for 5 years, and I still do interviews with people that are like, oh, so you were an intern?
Yeah.
Or like kind of pat me on the head and say, that was a really good job for what you're doing. And I just know that there's some disconnect there, like I'm getting treated differently. So I'm like, I want to look older, but then what's too old, you know? Where's the sweet spot?
Where is the sweet spot between being dismissed for being too young and being dismissed for being past it? It's not there.
It's not there. It's almost like people just dismiss all women.
Food for thought.
Food for thought.
Now, as we've discussed a lot already, the media has had a huge role to play in kind of perpetuating these archetypes, such as the old silver fox man and the young woman newsreader. And no one knows this as well as our next guest. She's been called the shrillest woman on television, the oldest woman on television. Her name's Hilary Barry. Welcome to On the Rag.
Thanks, you guys. Lovely to be here.
You're known as the mother of the nation. How does that sit with you as a phrase?
I feel like Judy Bailey will always be the mother of the nation. I know that people enjoy that tag so much they want to put it on someone else, but I don't kind of feel like I'm responsible enough. You know, Judy was just an icon of our television news age.
Why does New need a mother though? Why do we need a surrogate news mother?
I think so. Yeah, I don't think we need one. In terms of pairings on television, when a woman is paired with a guy, even if she's only a few years older than them, like I am with Jeremy Wells, the age difference is 7 years, there are comments that come in that talk about me being like his mother. You know, and that's ridiculous. I mean,
it's not physically possible.
Not have Jeremy and Stephen. No. But if you look at other television pairings, like Mike McRoberts and Sam Hayes, or Mike Hosking and Tony Street, the age difference is 19 years.
Right.
Wow.
So that's a bigger age difference. But ain't nobody saying that Mike Roberts looks like Sam's dad. Or that Mike Hosking looks like Tony Street's dad. And yet you put a woman in that role, an older woman, and suddenly
automatically a
she
mum.
looks like his mum.
People talk about your appearance?
Well, do you know what? Not so much anymore. I think that's because I like to, give them a bit of a
That's because you're a bit mean?
You clap back in a big way, and people are terrified.
There's a lot of shit that comes in that I do just go, oh, you're a dick.
Yeah.
And walk away from.
Yeah.
But just occasionally, something will really tick me off or actually really make me laugh. Like there was one that came in where some woman said, oh my goodness, your thighs on television or something, whatever it was. Glenys. It's always a Glenys, isn't it? Or a Cheryl. Apologies to really nice Glenys or Cheryls. And I just wet myself. I just thought it was so funny. So I took a close-up photo of my thighs and these pants that she'd complained about and sent it to her. Well, publicly with everybody else.
Do you get in trouble with the network for dropping C-bombs?
I'm quite impressed with the license you have to say anything you
It's great, obviously, necessary.
It's probably not anything I want.
Okay.
Sometimes I do self-check. Sometimes
Really?
I check with my co-host and go, should I tweet that? And sometimes I go, no. And my husband go, should I tweet that? He goes, I don't think so. But no, they trust you. And that's really good. But that's what it should be, right? Yeah. And I'm never going to try and sell you stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you're never going to see on my Instagram feed that I'm hocking off some, anti-aging cream. I am the subject of a scam at the moment for some anti-aging oil cream, which is mortifying because I would never hock off anti-aging cream.
Don't buy the cream. Don't buy it.
How do you feel about the whole anti-aging industry in general?
Well, it's very funny because I get sent from PR companies, unsolicited, I should say, constant boxes of anti-aging cream.
How rude!
Because I'm an older woman on screen.
that's
I
so
must need to dial back a few years.
Just slather yourself at night.
Wow.
Heaven forbid that I should get any older.
Do you feel any of that pressure from all those industries to look a certain way?
No.
How do you resist it?
Well, because I've never kind of traded on how I look. Do you know what I mean? If I was a supermodel and I'd built a career on how I looked, I can imagine that you would feel differently about ageing and how you look and things like that. But, now that I'm nearly 50, what is so awful is I have the worst skin in the world because, hello menopause, hormone. I'm like a pimply teenager again. And it's mortifying to go in there and go, sorry, got to break out in sector 4. I'm like, oh, don't worry. And then some of the young ones going, oh, you're allergic to something. And I went, no, it's just life. It's just the menopause.
Gosh, I'm still trying to get through my adolescence.
It's just once all waiting
around
for
the
you.
corner.
You have
5 big years.
1 week of clean skin and then it'll be like straight into menopause.
A positive note, what are the good parts about getting older?
Well, the kids are leaving home.
Great. Party time.
I love them dearly and I miss them a lot. But what a great stage of life that is.
Isn't it great?
There's food in the fridge.
Yep, you can sleep in.
You buy the expensive cheese.
You can have noisy sex.
Yep.
Sorry.
It's just so much freedom.
Yeah, it's like flatting again. But you're not struggling to pay the rent.
So do you think things are getting better for older women being represented on television? I feel bad even
Oh, it's fine. I'm still there, so yes. Yes. And you're on the telly too.
They brought me back. I was too old for a bit, but now apparently that's sort of cool.
Tell me about that. Are you joking? Are you
No,
serious?
I'm serious. They stopped using me on one of those shows that I was working on because they felt that the viewers would look at my face on a Friday night and go, oh my God, it's my mother being rude. So they stopped using me for 5 years, but they've just asked me back.
Wow.
I said yes, which was a mistake. But I think there might be a renaissance for the mature lady. So thank you for...
Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service too.
And you can come back to On the Rag whenever you want.
Yeah, there's
This
a
will go
spot.
south for you after this interview. Well, thanks for bringing your fires to the On the Rag studio. It's been...
It's a shame you can't see.
They're perfect. They are perfect. They are perfect.
Glennis wants a third go, for example.
Did you get the close up?
Crash in on that. Should we award our Kia ora Queenie? I feel like you're the honorary Kia ora Queenie of this episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kia ora Queenie. Thank you. Sending from your TVNZ tower to our lowly studio.
So that's it from us for ageing. We've fixed the problem, all the problems now. Check out our podcast On the Rag on the spinoff.co.nz. Otherwise, we'll see you next month for another episode of On the Rag. Hei te rā marama. Bye. Bye.
I don't have any problem with my memory. You know, I remember where my cards are.
We just about forgot.
I remember. I know.
What is that too?
I need a drink, that's probably why.